What's going on, guys? So today I'm outside to talk about a trade. Got a bunch of neck knives, so I figured it'd be easier just to show them in person. Alright? Love me some neck knives, you guys know that. So, I got a letter from Will, who I traded with. It reads, "Hey Jeff, thanks for the trade. I've been a fan of yours for about 10 years now. The first video I saw from you was the novelty lighters video. I learned how to flip because of your channel, and how to tell a good butterfly knife from a bad one. In the Civivi case are a few extra things as a thanks for the years of entertainment. One of the things is a knockoff Buck 110 I got for $5 when I was 13 years old. I thought maybe you could do a video on knockoffs versus the real thing. Fake Buck 110 versus the real Buck 110. Specifically because I got one in the trade from Will. It says, anyway, thanks again and keep making great videos." From Will. Thank you so much, Will. I appreciate it. He had contacted me and said that he can't wear neck knives anymore, so he wanted to see if I was interested. And you guys know I love love my neck knives, right? I feel like Flavor Flav right now, but a better version, right? Who wants to wear a clock? Come on, bunch of tools. That's cool. Anyway, yeah. So actually, let me start here. Not the neck knives. This is one of the main reasons for the trade. This is a Buck 110. It's a limited version with an S30V blade. I forget the company that they made this version for, but just a classic 110. There's no nail nick on this blade, which is interesting. But Bose heat treat, S30V, as you guys know, just awesome, awesome steel, and a very classic Buck pattern. All right, so pretty cool option. And I don't know if this is the original sheath for this knife. It says 110 on it. It's a Buck sheath, but it's like suede. It's super, super like soft. Really, really nice combination here. So, might go old school and carry that for a while. But anyway, besides that, let's get the neck knives. Take off my hat so I don't flip it off taking these off anyway. So we'll go through here one at a time. This is an MTech. It's a CRKT, well, it's a Alan Foltz Minimalist copy, but you guys know more the CRKT version of the Minimalist. So it's basically a copy of that knife. I actually had one of these already, but I don't mind having a second one. So that's the first knife. Let's organize these as I take them off. Alright, next knife here. This one is another MTech. Alright. Have not had this knife before. It says 440 USA design, handcrafted in China. MTech USA Extreme. Alright. Anyway, I've never had that one before. This is CRKT Spew, which I have had multiple times. Awesome knife. I don't mind multiples of some good knives. By the way, he used a lot of this smaller, like bank line type cord. It's actually really nice. I like this. I don't know what size this is or not, but I'm so used to the full size 550. It's a thick old necklace for my neck knives. This is actually a nice little nice change of pace. So next one here. This is one I was very much looking forward to. This is a MSK 2.5 from Tops. Alright, totally has a Tops feel, Tops look, those red liners. It's kind of chunky in the handle, but like in a good way. Really get a good grip on this. The lanyard actually helps as well to hold on to that since it's a 3-finger grip. But yeah, I mean, totally screams Tops, just a neck knife, version of their stuff. It's really cool. Jimping's very purposeful here as well. This is one of the ones I was looking forward to most. This, the Buck knife, of course, well, we're going to get through. We'll see. But this is one of the ones that I was more interested in as opposed to the others because I've had the others. I haven't had this particular Tops model before. Next one is a Schrade, which I have had as well. And this one is worn. Look at that. Gotta love some honest wear. And this model is the SOG F-16. Alright. Very, very chunky handle, especially compared to the Tops, even fatter. But it really fills out the hand. Feels very nice. I like that. And the last three you guys already recognize. These are all cold steel spikes, just 3 different blade variants. So we have the Tanto spike, which I do have one, but now we have 2. Next we have the Bowie, which you guys know I preferred. This one still has the original tip as opposed to my modified one since I dropped it. And lastly, I think this is the Tokyo grind. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but another interesting just drop point with that swedge. Pretty cool though. But yeah, actually, did I even say it? Nope. They don't. I think it's called Tokyo Grind. Anyway, an array of neck knives. Let's see, there's 3, 6, 8 neck knives. The Buck 110. And there's some bonus stuff he threw in. He's talking about the Civivi case. So we're going to check this out, see what's in here. We got a little old guy here. This one's actually, it's pretty cool. This one says Master. Alpha. It's kind of worn. Alpha Gear, Alpha Team. Special Military Operations. Because you know, our guys and gals overseas, they need something like this to get it done, right? And my finger's too fat to go through the hole. So, weight loss goals, so I can use this knife properly. But I like it. It's really cool. You guys know I like things that are weird and different. That's definitely weird and different. And I will throw a little cord on here and maybe wear it 1 or 2 days. So, besides that, we have a little generic lockback. You know what's interesting too? This locks up. You can see that angle. It looks like it's broken. It's almost like a U. You got a little rainbow lockback here. But there's very, very little blade play. It looks ugly because of that, but honestly, because of that downward angle, it really helped into cutting things. It's kind of interesting, something I noticed when I opened that up. I also have another little knife here. This one is a slip joint. No real information, just it's China, stainless. Kind of interesting though. Same thing, almost on like a downward angle, excuse me. This one's actually really darn sharp. But that was a really nice addition. I really appreciate that. And then this is what he was talking about with the 110 copy. It says Explorer. All right, 440 stainless, Japan. So pretty interesting. Let me do a quick comparison to the actual Buck 110. All right, so generic lockback shape. Of course, Buck. You can see very, very well rounded on the handle and the bolsters. This one, not so much. There's obviously a lot more finishing work in this. All right, different blade styles, but you get the idea. Fold it like this. But yeah, pretty cool. I really do appreciate it a great deal. You guys know I love the neck knives. Like I said, I don't mind doubles. I know some people are going to hit me up, ask if I want to trade this stuff. Not really. I love my neck knives. In fact, you guys are going to see a neck knife video in the future, because I have a lot of them now. I've been collecting for a while now, and I use all of them. Even if it's just for a day, some of the funkier, especially like, something like this. I obviously have much more useful neck knives, but I'll carry this for at least a day or two. If nothing else, just to say I did. But I give every knife, a fair shot. It doesn't have to be expensive to be good. Cheap knives work too, even if it has a really cheap soft steel. As long as you maintain that, you have a workable edge, you have a usable tool. And then lastly, he sent me this this round from the NRA. It's commemorating Springfield 1903 rifle series, which is pretty cool. Just like a little commemorative coin. So I thought that was pretty neat. So yeah, Will, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys are wondering, what did I trade for all this stuff? Well, I didn't really want to give it up. And I had a lot of people asking, but the first thing that he wanted was that Kaiser, the Sheepdog XL. So I traded the Kaiser Sheepdog XL along with the Frontiersman Survival Knife, which I was going to eventually do a review on and use, but I mean, I barely used it, just cut a little bit of paper with it. I think I cut maybe a little cordage or something. It was pretty much new. And I didn't have that much interest in using that particular knife. There's some other fixed blades that I wanted to actually try and use and review over the summer, especially since we have nice weather and stuff. So I gave up that as well. So the Kaiser Sheepdog XL and the Frontiersman fixed blade. So anyway, as I mentioned before, I had a lot of these knives. I still have a couple of these knives. Very specifically, the tops. This tops knife I'm very curious about. So I'll probably have to stop carrying my own neck knife, the sword tail. As much as I love it, obviously I like the design, I'm going to get back into carrying other production neck knives. Alright, so I'll give that a break for a little while, probably revisit it again in the future as well. And by the way, a quick update on that for the people who did get in on those. As soon as they ship, I will do an update to let everyone know that they are shipping out, so you guys can expect them. It should happen still before 4th of July. Everything's still, as planned. And once I get a production version in hand, I will do one last video on it to show what it actually ended up as, because the prototypes are showing a little bit different than the actual production version. So I'll show you know, how they arrived, what they're like, and kind of compare them between the ones that I tested. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys know I love my neck knives. Now we have more. So I will get back into carrying, you know, production stuff. This tops one will be the first one. Putting it on right now. And I'll carry this for the rest of the day. Just pretty interesting. I just recently found one of my tops Tom Brown tracker, which is a funky, you know, fixed blade. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.